Hi everyone, welcome to 12th December and I hope everyone is doing really well. So welcome to today's session and I hope it's the weather in Bangalore is right. Looks like there would be rains and I don't know what's the weather where you are currently at presently. So I hope the weather is good. You focus on your studies and let's start with Daily Decodes today for 12th December. So my name is Sanjay Kumar Sir. Welcome to the session for today. And today, the important quote or thought for the day is never give up. I think this is one of the most powerful quotes I have come across. It's very small, but when you say never give up and anybody says that you should not give up, or you believe that never giving up. So if you follow cricket and what happened in not in this test series, and when most of our batsmen were out the top, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and we won the Gaba test match, or when you think the chips are down and you will not make it through the civil services examination or make it through the other competitive examination, when you think you will not get the job, but eventually you start working on it, you don't give up, and eventually the magic happens. And for this magic to happen, the most important thing is never give up on your dreams. Please don't give up on your dreams. This is for everyone. It is not only for UPSC aspirants. This goes for everyone, that you should not give up on your dreams, because if you keep working hard, the universe will listen. And when people talk about manifestation, for me, manifestation is continuously working on your goals. And if you continuously work on your goals, put an effort to it, put a force behind it, reinforce it, the magic will happen and you will definitely get the success. So with this positive thought, let's move to today's important session. Good morning everyone. Good morning Parikshit. Everyone please do write good morning. Good morning to everyone, and please share the session with everyone who is joining for the morning Daily Decodes analysis. Okay, so important news for today are, first of all, I move forward with this. OGP 2026 batch is starting on 2nd January 2025. For all details, you can also call on the number 8069405205. Price of the course has been mentioned. Until 20th December, 10% discount is available. You can also scan this QR code for all details. This course will integrate GS, CSAT, SA. It would be an in-depth course, and this is under the guidance of Vinay Sir, who is the founder and director of Insights IAS. Okay, so with moving on with the important news, we'll go to any extent possible to eradicate manual scavenging. Supreme Court and courts before that have already asked or given guidelines. The problem is manual scavenging still happens, and people who do manual scavenging, or they are forced to do, or because of poverty or money they die of suffocation of, they are not able to get proper oxygen, and the deaths are high. So Supreme Court has given very important statements. We'll understand why scavenging needs to be exactly zero in the country. Second, India eyes $4 billion Voronezh radar to counter Chinese threats from 6,000 kilometers. What is the cost of it? $4 billion. So if I say a $1 billion is approximately 7,000 or 8,000 crore, depending upon what the dollar is moving, say approximately, say we take it 7,500 or 8,000. So this is approximately, plus 30,000 crores radar. So we are buying single radar for $4 billion. But once we go into this news, you will understand what is the real worth of this radar, what it can actually do. We'll see everything on the map, and you will understand that this radar, once India gets it, and what is the size of this radar, and it would be most probably it should be placed in Chitradurg in Karnataka, north of Bangalore, and what it can achieve in terms of giving the blip on the ballistic missiles to other missiles. We'll understand that. That's a very important part to understand. Okay, Bangalore weather due to climate change. Okay. Next news is Indian scientists develop novel solutions for hemophilia. We'll also understand what is hemophilia A. So some innovation. The two positive news coming. Rather, the first three news are very positive. One is about manual scavenging. Other is about Voronezh radar. Third is Indian scientists have developed novel solutions for hemophilia A. And prelims decode will do this. India reported half of malaria cases in South Asia in 2023. Though India has reduced malaria cases by a huge number, but the problem is still the numbers are very high. From the Indian context, we'll understand it. And if you combine India and Indonesia, numbers go more than 80%. In editorial, we'll understand Foreign Secretary Bangladesh visit reaching out to Dhaka, and then we'll have standard Q&A and extra mile. We'll understand all this. So these are the important news for today. Let's move to the first important news. That would be, will go to any extent to eradicate manual scavenging, Supreme Court. So this is not the first time Supreme Court is talking about manual scavenging. Many guidelines have been given by the Supreme Court. Even there is a scheme by the government. But the problem is from the state level or the central level, the implementation is not happening. So Supreme Court of India vowed that to take all possible measures to eradicate manual scavenging. Just imagine that, people are still getting in gutters. I'm talking about 2024. We are not, there is no slavery in the world. Hopefully, if there is somewhere, I hope there is no slavery. I think slavery overall is, abolished. But if there's some corners of the world it is going on, that would be very unfortunate. So when I see manual scavenging, it just gives back the images of, bonded labor or slavery, which used to happen in the past. But today also, the manual scavenging is still happening. So eradicate manual scavenging and hazardous cleaning of sewers and septic tanks, emphasizing that it is a matter of human dignity. So human is forced to go, or a man is forced to go, or a person is forced to go inside a gutter, whereas there is suffocation of oxygen. And because of that, many times the death happens. And most importantly, when today there are so many machines available, technology is available, we still are relying on humans to do it. And it's not that these people want to do it. There was a small documentary which was available on, most of the TV channels, and it is on YouTube. So a child is being asked, that why your father does it. So he says that I don't have any other option. My father doesn't have any option. And when I see my father going inside a gutter or a septic tank, I basically cry in the corner. And, everybody, once this cleaning happens, people are not even thankful to these persons. And, they see that, they are from the lower strata of the society. Maybe they are from the lower strata of the society and they don't have money and they are under poverty. And that is why they are not able to, find other jobs. It is very important for the state and central government to find alternative jobs or alternative employment for these people. Otherwise, this is against human dignity. And in 2024, when we are talking about, if we have the capability to buy $4 billion worth of radar, which is very important. You guys know that I'm very pro security. I come from the Indian Army background. I come from Intelligence Bureau. But at the same time, when the Admiral Tripathi says on the eve of the Navy Day on the 3rd December, that Pakistan is building this 50 naval fleet, but not focusing on, the basic food and shelter in their country. Same goes for us, that if we can spend so much amount of money, definitely we can stop this manual scavenging, and for that matter, alternative ways of employment can be given. So this is, kind of request for my side to the state government as well as the central government. Okay. So in this context, Special Bench of Justices Sudhanshu Dhulia and Arvind Kumar made it clear to the central government that the October 2023 judgment must be implemented in full. So judgment highlighted the persistence of inhuman occupation resulting in frequent fatalities caused by asphyxia. So what is asphyxia? Asphyxia happens when there is suffocation, and there is suffocation because you are not getting oxygen and you die. So I've put in, asphyxia, also known as asphyxiation or suffocation, is a condition where the body doesn't get enough oxygen, which can lead to unconsciousness or death. So this happens, and today technologies are available that you can, get the alternative to manual scavenging. So it pointed out that when we talk about fraternity, equality, dignity in political speeches, chief ministers, for that matter, even the prime minister, we all talk about all these things. But the ground implementation, ladies and gentlemen, is quite poor. And that is what the government needs to do. And I'm not only talking about central government, even for that matter, state government implementation is even more poorer than that. So if from central government they need acts, they need funds, even if they are given, the state government implementation is not happening. So fraternity, equality and dignity are more on papers, but in reality things are very different. So enhanced, so recently even the Delhi High Court has given an order that compensation should be increased. So enhanced compensation of severe deaths increasing from 10 lakh it was given if a death happens, and then to 30 lakh. Okay, compensation is giving 10 lakh to 30 lakh, but can 30 lakh cover that person? For example, he's a father, can that cover? So we recently, if I am correct, we are talking about that Bangalore techie, and whatever be the justice being done, and I would be covering that Bangalore techie news, I think tomorrow or day after, once we are able to get more data. I have not been able to find a good editorial in The Hindu about it, but in coming days I will definitely be covering that, because it's a very important issue from how the laws which were framed for the benefit of women, how are being misused. And that's not a, the Bangalore techie case is not one alone case. There are thousands of cases, and most of these cases are fake in nature. So we'll understand in coming days, because I thought, some of you want to understand what has gone into that. So let me know, like, what do you think about that case? So Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavenging and their Rehabilitation Act 1213 introduced a decade ago. So again, the act is there. So this is nothing new. Multiple acts are there. Okay, so you have Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and their Rehabilitation Act 2013. Again, act is there, implementation is poor. So legislature has done its work, the executive are not doing. That is what we get to know. So despite judgment, states and municipalities show little progress, and sometimes these people who do this manual scavenging, there is a lot of biasness against those people. And the other problem which comes is that in society they are not even treated equally. That is also one of the major problems. It's not only about giving them alternative employment, it's also about giving them equality, dignity and the respect in the society. Okay, so for example, when a person who comes, this is for my personal side, when a person comes to pick up garbage, for example, so people say him, that he kachra wala aa gaya. Okay, so actually if you see, he is not the kachra wala, or he is not that garbage person. He is actually cleaning the garbage. People who are giving the garbage, we are putting the garbage. He is the person who is taking. So he is the cleaning person, not the garbage person. So we keep on saying kachra wala, kachra wala. In English it means garbage person, garbage person. So is he the garbage person, or is he taking the garbage from your house so that your house becomes cleaner? So this is what we need to realize, right? Who is the garbage person? And I'm not saying we are garbage person, but we are giving him garbage. He is taking and making our house cleaner. So a thought process, a positive thought process should be inculcated in the society. So bench noted that the lack of even a single model municipality free of hazardous cleaning practice, recent judgments by the Delhi High Court which order enhanced compensation for victim families, this is a positive step being taken. So the positive steps are being taken by court asking the implementation, but the implementation at the state and central level is very much poor. So there is also a scheme called Namaste Scheme, National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem, which can replace these manual scavenging. And also when you replace that, these people will be looking for other ways of employment. So alternative employment also has to be given. It is not only stopping manual scavenging, giving alternative employment plus respect and dignity in the society. So this scheme has also been not implemented, Namaste Scheme. Court directed the Social Justice Ministry to convene a meeting with the state with 2 weeks and give an action plan. How will this happen? Failure to act may result in contempt of court proceedings. So this is, in 2024, Supreme Court has to say it is contempt of court. They're asking, states to implement, which they keep on talking about in DPSP or, basically DPSP, and when the election comes, they will start giving freebies. Rather than focusing on freebies, if you start focusing on these issues, these people will certainly give you vote. Okay, so that should be the intent and intention. Okay, so this is the UPSC mains question. You can go through it. Let's move to the next important news. India plans to buy massive $4 billion wall-like radar to neutralize Chinese threats from 6,000 kilometers. So this is a wonderful news coming. So, and comment has come. Let me just take that. This article highlight, which is similar to class-based disparities in prison. where lower class individuals are made to work and emphasizes Supreme Court call for. Yes, Parikshit, absolutely. So we had covered that prisons one also. What is happening in prisons, and the if there is a 100% capacity of prisons, more than 150, 180% or 160% of the people are staying in 100% capacity, and the condition of prisons is also poor. And then also in prison, if you are coming from the lower lower strata, you are asked to do the cleaning of toilets and everything. I think, Parikshit, we had covered that in the editorial. You are absolutely correct. And so this is a major problem. So it is happening. So when we talk about caste removal, have we actually removed? This is not basically removed to even towards the caste. It is also about the class problem. Not only the caste, class problem also, which we need to tackle and reduce. So India plans to buy massive, this $4 billion wall-like radar from Russia. Just see the massive size of it. Do you see the massive size of this radar? Okay, so Russians can only build, or for that matter, I feel that only Chinese can build. Obviously, if a miniaturization would be required, maybe Americans can do. But when it comes to big, large and super large machines, it is mostly today either are Chinese or that, USSR used to do it. So this is a mega size of a radar. And once India gets this radar, I am telling you, this Voronezh radar system, once it's installed in Karnataka, it will give a strategic advantage to India. We'll understand that on a map also. So India is in advanced discussion with Russia for a $4 billion defense deal, and this is only for one single radar I'm talking to you. One single radar worth $4 billion. Okay, with Voronezh radar, a cutting-edge early warning radar. This news did not come in the Hindu newspaper. I have taken it from other newspaper. It was in First Post, I think it was in Indian Express also, but it is a very important news. So that is why I have taken from other newspaper, because in Hindu, most of the times I do not get important security or weapons news, so I got this news from there. So the radar system will significantly enhance India's air and defense surveillance capabilities, and such as we would be easily able to target China, South Asia and Indian Ocean. So this was discussed recently. Defense Minister was in Russia. We had covered that INS Tulin news yesterday. He was in Kaliningrad for the inauguration of that frigate. So if you see, so from if I take from Delhi into Beijing, the aerial distance is around 3,500 kilometers. So this radar should be placed somewhere here, and its vertical range is 8,000 kilometers and horizontal range is 6,000 kilometers. So vertical range, if you say 8,000 kilometers, horizontal range is around 6,000 kilometers. Just imagine that amount of coverage. So it would be covering entire China, Pakistan, for that matter, Uzbekistan. Just do that. Say, even if we take 6,000 kilometers, let's take the, on the smaller side, it would be covering everything. 6,000 kilometers of a range of a radar. So we are not buying two. If we buy two, actually we don't need two, because this would be able to cover majority of areas which can attack India. So it can from any threat which is coming from maritime, any threat which can coming from Pakistan and much beyond, any threat which is coming from China. Majorly our focus is towards China, because the kind of Chinese Navy which is going now, China's Navy is the largest in the world, and it is a matter of time when a skirmish or a skirmish or fight between Indian Navy and Chinese Navy happens in future. It might happen. We have already seen Galwan. So there is high chances that this fight happens. So in this context, this radar would be very important. See the amount of coverage it can do. And when we have a nuclear policy where we follow no first use, this kind of deterrent system is very important. So this is the range. Vertical range is 8,000 kilometers. Horizontal range is 6,000 kilometers, and this is the kind of coverage it will do. And that is why I think that is why the cost of this particular radar. So Voronezh radar, it is developed by Russia's Alamaz Anti-Corporation. It is very famous for radar and military and missile technologies, and for that matter can track over 500 objects simultaneously. So if 500 objects are simultaneously coming, so if somebody has launched 200 drones or 100 missiles, or for that matter you say stealth aircrafts and frigates, so 500 are coming together, it can study, or it is able to get the blip of that on the radar, and then the countermeasures by the forces or the security forces, anti-aircraft, anti-missiles, or all these, for example, S-400 system and everything that can be deployed. Other important thing about Voronezh radar is that it is deployable with all of the equipments we have. For example, we have Rafale, we have Russian equipments, we have American equipments. So this can be easily integrated. For example, you have a Rafale. For example, you have a Chinook. For example, you have a S-400 system. And then you have Voronezh radar. The software should talk to 4 of them. Because if the software is not integrated in 4 of them, they will not talk to each other. So in this context, Voronezh radar can easily integrate, and that is why it is very important. Okay, so it can track and monitor ballistic missiles, stealth aircraft and fighter jets, ICBM, that is intercontinental ballistic missiles, near earth objects in space, and it can go over the horizon. So horizon is what I can see directly. Obviously when you talk about 6,000, 8,000 kilometers, it can go beyond. Okay, obviously 8,000 or 6,000 kilometers is much beyond which we can see in a horizon. So it's a state-of-art system technology, strategic edge to India, bolstering India's situational awareness and early warning mechanisms, which will give a befitting edge to India, specifically how the Chinese are growing. So the radar will address India's evolving security, particularly in terms of China. It enhances India's capabilities to detect threats from China, Pakistan or any other enemy country in the future, and strengthens India's defense, specifically Indian Ocean region. When we talk about Indo-Pacific, where Indian Navy fleet is increasing, and the Admiral Tripathi is talking that every month a new ship would be added. So every week you are hearing a new missile or a new system is being incorporated. This is happening because from the point of view of the Chinese threat, which is evolving, and how geopolitics might change in the coming decade. So other important thing is that Make in India initiative is also part of it, that 60% of the 60% of the deal, 60% of the product of this radar would be done manufacturing in India. So lot of parts and other things will be manufactured in India. So that will generate huge amount of employment, because these parts will start getting created. So military complexes will start coming, and these military complexes will generate a huge amount of employment. See, if you see the American economy, this is the amount of weapons they sell, that the amount of money they are making. Obviously there are the tech industries also. Similarly, once we make our military complexes, once these parts are being manufactured, obviously it will go in a long way. So a team of alumnus visited India to explore local partnership or production. Offsets, the radar is likely to be installed in Chitradurg, Karnataka. I have already told you. The site has already been surveyed for installation readiness. And in Chitradurg, you have most of the Indian Air Force is deployed, and very sophisticated technology or armaments are there with the Indian Air Force. They are at that point of time, Indian Air Force at Chitradurg. So reinforces India's Russia defense partnership, ensuring continued cooperation in advanced technology and infrastructure development. Yesterday also we had covered when Defense Minister Rajnath Singh had said that it is deliberate that we want to strengthen our relationship, or it's a conscious decision to strengthen our relationship with Russia. And in the current geopolitical environment, it is very important also. So provides India with an early warning system, technology transfer and local manufacturing. And also there are talks that, in this, once this radar and everything is done, the TOT of this radar can also happen, so that we can also manufacture it and put in different parts of the country. So this news is also over. Let's go to the next news. So next important news is Indian scientists develop novel gene therapy, provide one-time solution for hemophilia. So it's a one-time solution. Obviously there are other solutions, but the replacement solution, but this is a one-time solution in the terms of gene which can help you get rid of hemophilia A. So what is in UPSC prelim impacts? We will study what is hemophilia A. It is a genetic disorder. Basically your body stops forming blood clots, and since it's not able to stop forming blood clots, it is not able to form blood clots. That is why if you get a cut, the blood will continuously flow. So that affects the body's ability to form blood clots. And since no blood clots are being formed, so a small cut can also lead to a disaster, or a small cut can also lead to death because of loss of blood. So it is a rare disorder in which the blood doesn't clot in the typical way because it doesn't have enough blood clotting proteins. So whenever a question is asked that in hemophilia A, if the blood clotting is not happening, what is behind it? So the main thing behind is blood clotting proteins. It is a sex-linked disorder. the gene for hemophilia is carried on by the X chromosomes. So very important information from prelims point of view. This type is caused by lack or decrease of clotting factor 8. So clotting factor 8 is important, clotting factor A is important, and blood clotting proteins are important, and clotting factor 8 is important. So these are two important things related to hemophilia A, and chances of male having hemophilia A are very high. Males are much likely to have hemophilia than are females. In treatment, you have replacement therapy, which involves infusing clotting factor concentration into the bloodstream so that the blood clot can happen. So this is what they are done, but this has to be done again and again. So this new solution which the Indians have been able to do, in which this is a one-time solution of replacing that gene. Okay. So other treatments may include medication to promote clotting or surgery or repair damage caused by bleeding. Obviously, these are not a great solution. Replacement is generally which is prescribed, and then there is one American drug which is most of the times followed. So Indian scientists developed novel gene therapy. So Indian scientists have achieved a breakthrough to gene therapy to treat severe hemophilia A, a rare hereditary disorder caused by a faulty gene. So this is the important news, and I've given you the basics around it, the protein factor and the 8 factor. Therapy has been tested on 5 patients in Tamil Nadu, and in the last 14 months, no bleeding episodes have come, so it's working very good. The results were published in New England Journal of Medicine. People behind is Alok Srivastava of Christian Medical College, Vellore, with the support of Union Department of Biotechnology. So patients with severe A have less than 1% of the clotting factor. Since they have less than 1% of the clotting factor, that's why if they get a cut, the blood is not able to stop, which can lead to disastrous death also. So leading to frequent bleeding episodes, requiring frequent treatments like factor 8 replacement, because that is required for blood clotting, so you need replacement for that. Monoclonal antibodies are required, and then mimic substance for clotting. So clotting is the most important thing. If clotting happens, then the blood stops. So treatments are very expensive. The approximate cost is 2.5 crore per patient over a decade. 2.5 crore. This is very expensive. The methods which have been developed by Indian scientists are very reasonable. Okay. So gene therapy is a one-time solution, and most importantly that you have to do over a decade. This is one-time solution. So unlike current treatments requiring repeated infusion, which poses a huge amount of cost to the patients, and again, infusion has to be put in the body. Body also goes through that cycle. It is better that they can try this solution. So one-time solution by introducing a gene that enables the body to produce clotting factor itself. So that's very important. One-time solution, and that will start producing that gene which will produce that clotting factor. Solution done, the problem solved. So that is what Indians have been able to do it. Okay. Very happy India has taken such a great step on hemophilia. Yes, definitely. So globally, US FDA approved Roctavian is the only commercial available drug, and obviously it's American, it's very expensive. So available in gene therapy, it demonstrated a reduction in bleeding episodes from 5.5 per year to 2.6 per year. Requirement of corticosteroids to suppress the immune response for therapy effectiveness. So this is the medicine being used which basically help in blood clotting. So India's global position on hemophilia, we have the second largest patients on hemophilia patient pool worldwide, with an estimated 40,000 to 1 lakh patients. So again, very important, though this is a rare genetic disorder, and that too also we have the second largest population. So diabetes already we are ruling, and this also we are now the second highest. The success of Indian trial may pave the way for cost effective solution, and this way, it would be not only good for India, but it would be good for worldwide patients which are affected with this hereditary disorder, and it would come at a, at a very reasonable price. And secondly, it is a one-stop solution. One time you have to take it and it would be resolved. Okay. So rest, the question for the mains has been given, and obviously implication of Indian study, affordable and effective gene therapy is there. Further trials and studies will tell us that how much effective this therapy has been, because right now only you've been tested for more than a year. Emphasize collaboration between research institution and government support to address even the bigger coming challenges in this. So this is a mains question, please go through it. And geography classes will be starting from 12th December 2024, that is today, under the guidance of Sudeep sir, who is the faculty for geography at Insights IAS. This is the fees. For all details you can call on this number, and this is for prelims crash course, you can go through it, and for all details you can also scan the QR code and get the details, and this will happen at Bangalore and also available online. Now let's go to the next important news. India reported half of malaria cases in Southeast Asia in 2023. Now when we'll go in detail in this news, you will see that India has actually progressed on malaria. The problem is that still we have large numbers. Obviously there's a problem of population also in our country which is there, but WHO Southeast Asia region contributed 1.5% of global malaria cases in 2023, which is approximately India accounting for half of these cases. And if you combine India and Indonesia, if you combine these two countries, then both countries together accounted for 88% of malaria deaths in the Southeast Asia region. So this is not a good news that malaria is still prevalent. And again, from manual scavenging to this news, a lot of things has to be done at the level of state and center. So though there has been progress since 2000, the Southeast Asia region has made significant progress with malaria cases. This news has a lot of numbers, so we'll just go through the numbers. From 222.8 million to 4 million in 2003. So number of malaria cases have come down, which is around 82.4% reduction. So we are on the right track. I think in the coming 5 to 10 years, this number should even come down and we should be able to move towards 100% reduction. So malaria related deaths in the region decreased by 82.9% from 35,000 to 2,000 to 6,000 in 2023. So the Malarian deaths have also decreased. This case incidence fell by 87% from 17.7 to 2.3% per thousand population at risk. So overall the number of people affected by malaria, overall number of people or the malaria related deaths, they have come down. So it is coming down by more than 80%. Obviously we want that it comes to 100%, but that will take lot of time, effort from both sides. So India's contribution to malaria reduction, very important for putting numbers from our side. India achieved 93% decrease in case incidence and reported 17.7 million fewer malaria cases since 2000. So numbers are coming down, but again, we still are not on 100% reduction. In 2022 to 2023, India recorded 9.6% reduction in its malaria caseload, showcasing consistent progress. So consistently we are working on malaria and the numbers are coming down. Obviously we would want that 100% reduction happens, but that will not only happen. So you will need global collaboration and state and center focus on malaria reductions also, then only this will happen. So performance, agar other countries if you see, so countries like Bangladesh, Indonesia, Nepal also showed reduction, so they are also done very good. But on the other side you have countries like North Korea, Thailand, Myanmar, which are experiencing significant increase. So North Korea, Myanmar, you can easily say there's military junta, they are hardly concerned about what is happening with people there. But Thailand comes as a surprise, but though because Thailand is still a democracy and the focus is still on the people compared to these two countries. I hope these countries work and reduce the numbers. So both Timor-Leste and Bhutan reported zero indigenization malaria cases in 2023. So congratulations to both. They are working. So, if you say Timor-Leste and Bhutan, they will definitely have much less resources than North Korea, Myanmar and Thailand. But Myanmar and North Korea focus is on war or building missiles. Myanmar is focusing on military junta, removing Aung San Suu Kyi. And for that matter, North Korea focus is sending 12,000 troops to Russia for fighting wars. So obviously, social issues or social schemes, social programs, healthcare is not the focus in the countries. Hence, the numbers are like this. So global achievement against malaria has also shown good numbers. Obviously, there are challenges ahead. Malaria remains a serious global health threat requiring sustained effort for prevention and treatment. Again, so not only India, but if you create groups like BRICS, SCO, United Nations, all these groups should come and try to solve the problem holistically and comprehensively, not only meetings, but implementation of it. So we have a question for this. India accounted for more than 50% of malaria cases in the Timor-Leste and Bhutan was certified malaria-free. They are not malaria-free. They just recorded 0 cases. That does not mean they have been given malaria-free. The case incidence of malaria in Southeast Asia region decreased by over 80%. So 1 in 3 statements are right and were not certified. So they reported 0 indigenous cases, but they still have not been certified by WHO as malaria-free in 2023. Maybe in future they might be, but not right now. So coming to the last important news for today, that is express views on foreign Bangladesh visit reaching out to Dhaka. So today I was not able to find a good editorial in the Hindus have taken from Indian Express. So it is about the India-Bangladesh issue, a very important. We had covered the issue of Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri going to Bangladesh, and a lot of conversation happened with the counterpart. And I've again and again told you the problem with Bangladesh is that they are butchering and killing the Hindu minority community there, but they are not ready to acknowledge it. When Vikram Misri said that the minorities are being killed there, for that matter, not only Christians and Buddhists and definitely Hindus, temples are being torn down, or for temples are being destruction is happening against them, churches are being destroyed, but at the same time, the counterpart of Bangladesh is saying that nothing of this sort is happening. It's our internal affairs and India should not get into this. At the same time, he is asking India to see what is happening in Agartala. And the statement which is coming from Foreign Secretary is that, it's unfortunate that this happened. We look into it. So there's a kind of maturity which is being shown by in India, that when Bangladesh is asking something, we are trying to resolve it. But when we are trying to ask the same questions to Bangladesh, they say that it is our internal affair. So this is a big hypocrisy. Multiple media reports have come, and Bangladesh is saying that, what your media is trying to show, these are fake reports. These are not fake reports. There are multiple videos. Most of the big houses journalists are available in Bangladesh. Everybody knows what is happening. And in the initial, the majority community is trying to beat and even kill the minority community. Multiple videos are available. And the first thing Muhammad Yunus does after becoming the chief advisor is to, allow or these people, the ban which was put on Jamaat-e-Islami, these terror-related group or extremist group, remove the ban. Now his focus is to remove that, on the currency, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman photo is there, remove it with the graffiti. So rather than reviving economy, his focus is on printing new currency. And if this continues, the Bangladesh economy is going through, through a very dark phase, or for that matter, the economy is coming down. If this continues, they only have forex reserve for 2 to 3 months. And if this continues, Bangladesh would be falling like anything. They should remember what happened with Maldives. Maldives was trying the same stunt. Bangladesh is also trying to do the same stunt. India out and everything. India is trying to question the autonomy of Bangladesh. See, we are not trying to question your autonomy. We want that you work. Under Sheikh Hasina, your economy was rising, but today see what is happening. All your garment orders have either moved to China or India for that matter, because your factories are closed, people are not working, they are only interested in doing revolution. And if this continues, you might also have to do the same thing what Maldives take a U-turn, come to India, ask for or beg for money. So please remember that it is India because of which Bangladesh had got created, not the other way around. Okay, and just remember 16 December 1971, or for that matter 16 December is coming. Please remember this date, and all Bangladeshis should remember what is 16 December. For that matter, the late Shri Indira Gandhi would have not taken decision. If there would have been no Sam Manekshaw sir, there would have been no Bangladesh. So Bangladesh should be thankful to India rather than putting fingers on us. We, from electricity to everything, we have helped Bangladesh from first, neighborhood first policy. We have continuously been helping Bangladesh, but what is coming from this other side from Bangladesh is very deplorable, and they need to work. Otherwise, things would become very tough. If they think that they can get support from Pakistan, Pakistan is a beggar country. Okay, let me put that very bluntly. They are going for the 25th bailout to International Monetary Fund. For years, they were in grey list of the FATF. So that is a country which is living on multiple credit cards. Okay, they are borrowing money from private banks, a country borrowing money from private banks. So that is the situation of Pakistan. So they are trying to shake hands with Pakistan. Please, Bangladesh, remember that Operation Searchlight was done by Pakistan with the help of Jamaat-e-Islami when they were killing and butchering Bangladeshis when they wanted liberation and independence. You are also trying to sit with China. Please remember, China China also sat with Maldives, China also sat with Pakistan, and China also sat with Sri Lanka. Just imagine what is happening in these countries. Debt-ridden countries they have become. So Bangladesh needs to realize and focus on development and people-to-people cooperation. The statement from Vikram Misri is very clear that we are not, whichever government dispensation comes, be BNP or with Sheikh Hasina, we are not focused on which dispensation or government is coming. We are focusing on people-to-people contact, that there is a bonhomie between the both sides, and that is what we are trying to establish. And this is what the Bangladesh also needs to understand. If they do not understand this, if they do not work on this, situation in Bangladesh will become even worse than today. If you see from 5th August to today, 12th December, continuously protests are going on and the economy is coming down. They only have around $20-30 billion of forex reserve left, which will only suffice for the next 3-4 months. Once that is over, they will again become like Pakistan. So please revive, please put your thought, please put your brains, and please get a doctor, economic doctor, to put in order. And Muhammad Yunus should apply some amount of brains to putting Bangladesh in order. Otherwise, this situation will become even worse for Bangladesh, period and full stop. Okay. So more or less I have told you what is in this editorial. So Vikram, you see, people are the main stakeholders. That is what he's saying. Politics proof achievement include, that India and Bangladesh resolving legacy border issues, advancing connectivity, facilitating public and private investment. But this happened under Sheikh Hasina. Now, what is happening under Muhammad Yunus? His focus is either you abuse or either you take action against Sheikh Hasina, or either you say something about Mujibur Rahman, take his statue down, or say something about India. Because constructively, he has not done a one good step. That's it. And he was thinking the Democrats will come in power. They did not. There is something very interesting which has happened. So, for example, if you say Sheikh Hasina, then you take Assad. Okay, Sheikh Hasina, Assad, both of their governments, both of these leaders have gone. Okay, both of these leaders have gone. And somehow the Americans are behind this. There is no doubt about that. The Americans are behind this. Maybe American deep state also. Okay. So this is the challenges. I've covered everything, with the most of it strengthening regional cooperation. So BIMSTEC should be, focused, but again, let's see how India is ready to do it from BIMSTEC to other schemes, and India is ready to work with the different governments, and India has also made clear, Vikram Misri has made it clear that we are not supporting the statements of what Sheikh Hasina has said. So that our individual statement, our focus is not on Sheikh Hasina, our focus is on building relationship with whichever Bangladeshi government dispensation comes. Okay. So we have done with this, majority of it. So this is the important mains question. You can go through this. So in the extra mile, has the government clarified its stance of one nation, one subscription? This is the extra article. On ICANN 2.0, it is being taken by Sapna ma'am. So you can also go through this. This comes on our channel. And if there is any important comment, let me just check it. So I think I've covered a lot today. I would want, what are your thoughts on Bangladesh? Who do you think is at fault? And I'll also want that, what do you think? Should we cover that news of Atul Subhash? If I'm correct, I'm taking the correct name only. Yes, Atul Subhash, the name is correct. So do you think we should cover that news from the point of view how the laws which were made for women and how women are putting fake cases against men in terms of dowry, and not only against the husband, they're putting cases against the entire family. And I've seen videos, they say that, we'll get married and then I'll take a divorce after 2 years and half of the property of husband would be mine. So this is the intent of many women today. And Atul Subhash case, which is a Bangalore techie, is forcing the entire state government and national government and policy makers to think about the rules which were made in favor of the women, but now women are misusing it. Or most of these dowry and rape cases are turning out to be fake now. So do you think we need to cover this issue? Do you think it's very important in terms of how our society or how we talk about women empowerment, but there are certain fringe cases or certain fringe section which are deplorable towards men in the society? When we talk about parity, when we talk about equal rights, it's only about women, or the equal rights should be taken by men? So a Supreme Court and a High Court lawyer also gave the statement that when even the courts are able to find that this is a fake case, they ask the police to find and take, take action against these fake cases. No action is taken. Rather, the women family, and for that matter, the police, three of them have colluded together to loot the man. So that is exactly what is happening. Multiple articles have come. So if you feel that we should talk about this issue, we'll certainly talk about it tomorrow or day after. And what do you think about what is happening in Bangladesh, scavengers? Please put your comments. Please do like the session, share the session, and most importantly, please press the bell icon, and please do give your lovely comments. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind. Okay, Parikshit, we would